Hello, welcome to another episode of Fort Riley, the podcast. This episode, we get a chance to talk about Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. April is that month, but the activities that it highlights happen all year long. We have the program coordinator from Fort Riley here to tell us what Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month is all about.
I am Garber, 1st Infantry Division Lead SARC Program Manager. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Prevention Month.
I know this is just 1 month, but it really is something that has attention all year long.
Correct. We do activities throughout the year focusing on prevention of, it's more awareness of assault, and our primary prevention program on this installation is our ambassador course, and we are fine-tuning that because we're also including, we have senior leader events, we also have upcoming for the following year, we're putting together a plan for NCO events because our ambassador course targets that E4 population, which is the largest population on this installation. And it really is about character development. And because we cannot legitimately say to somebody, be a good person, don't sexually assault someone. People have to internalize that, and if they see someone doing harmful behaviors to others, we need to be able to have them develop those skills to where it's like, no, wait a minute, let me stop this before it actually happens, and not accept anything that contributes to harmful behaviors like hazing, bullying, using alcohol as a weapon, that kind of thing.
Building a culture where it's okay to say, that's not okay.
Correct, and that is exactly what we're looking with prevention, to shift the culture. I mean, it can start as something as innocuous as an off-color joke in a motor pool. People just laugh whether they're comfortable or not because that goes back to that whole group thing. We want people to stand up and say, this is not acceptable. We will not talk about this kind of stuff here in this formation, in our barracks. It's just not tolerable because we're not treating people with dignity and respect, whether that's male, female, it doesn't matter. We need to treat people with dignity and respect.
When someone is able to stand up and refute that kind of behavior, allowing the person to maintain their dignity, they end up with a lot more respect from their peers.
Correct. It's sort of the tide changing for groupthink, but in a positive format. Because it's like, hey, if they can do that, I'd like to do that. And people start to emulate each other in a more positive direction. We kicked off SAPM with our proclamation signing. Major General Meyer came, and Commissar Major Raby was here, and myself, we signed our proclamation, and which basically was our kickoff. During that event, we also had a whole day training, leaders training for all the first sergeants, brigade commanders, command sergeant majors on the installation with retired CID agent Russell Strand in leadership, how you can be an effective leader to change culture. It was an entire day event, which is fantastic. Then what we've also had for our SARCs and VAs, we had Dr. Chris Wilson come and talk to us about trauma and how trauma affects reaction and what will happen in the brain as opposed to what people think should happen may not happen because of the way the brain processes that trauma. So that was very enlightening. And it's also how it helped our advocates respond to victims. We're always looking to grow. How to process trauma in the brain and how someone who had just gone through a traumatic event could respond was very insightful to help our advocates anticipate how they need to respond to help the healing process. So it's very insightful, and we're going to hopefully bring him back and also help leaders, because this is a commander's program. SHARP is a commander's program, and so we provide a lot of education to leaders, support to leaders, as well as response to victims.
So if somebody out there has experienced a sexual assault or harassment, what support structure do you guys have to help them through on their road to recovery?
We have advocacy. We can help them get to other services, for instance, behavioral health. In the immediacy, we can help them get to medical. We can help people get to chaplains. Our advocates are here to try to meet the immediate needs of a victim and empower that victim to begin to meet their own needs. So we kind of are very involved in order to help give those victims the skills and resources to thrive.
And I understand the way the program is structured, that they don't have to face any piece of this process by themselves.
Absolutely not. We have restricted reporting, and what that means is if there's an assault, a sexual assault, then they can contact SHARP, they can engage our services, and no investigation will occur. Command will not know. Law enforcement will not know. If they choose to unrestrict, that triggers an investigation. And we can explain all those options. Even if it's a delayed report, they can still come forward. Even if it happened, at another installation, that kind of stuff. But that's the point of SHARP, is we're victim focused. We're here to be their advocate, or we're here to teach them as well how to assist themselves in becoming their own advocates. But it's not like we're like, well, here's a book, read that, and you're going to now know everything. No, that's not it. We are here for support. And as much as or as little as that person coming forward, because it's a brave step to come forward.
I so appreciate you being willing to do this.
Oh, I appreciate you getting the word out there. And it isn't just, like you said before, just not in April. We do this all year long. We recognize April as SAPA month, and the Army's theme is change through unity, empower, protect, and prevent. But we do that 365 days a year. This is just a highlighted month. Come back in July, and we'll be doing things as well.
And what is the phone number that somebody can reach you guys at?
Our hotline number is 785-307-9338, and that is a 24/7 manned hotline.
So remember, if you're in need of services, call 785-307-9338. There is someone at the other end of that phone 24 hours a day. And as always, thank you for listening to Fort Riley, the podcast.